Okay, this is the coronavirus monologue day 64, and my name is Andrew Smith. Um, how about this for a pickup line? 6 feet? I thought you said you wanted 6 inches. No? Anyway, Cuomo and Trump are fighting over how many ventilators are needed for New York. All I know is that doesn't count the ventilators that are needed for any room that Jared Kushner is in, or for that matter, Mike Pompeo. How do you think Pompeo got his last name? You know what I mean? But Rudy Giuliani's been very, very quiet recently. That's because he's working day and night to try to find the Hunter Biden connection to coronavirus. But this testing thing has really gotten out of control. I went to a testing site the other day, and there was a guy there doing that old walrus imitation bit that you do in bars, except instead of having two swizzle sticks up his nose, he had two swabs. But there's always a silver lining. Always a silver lining. I mean, just think of it. I mean, with everybody being ordered to work from home, just think for the first time, finally, for the first time in 3.5 years, uh, uh, Jared Kushner and Ivanka are out of the White House for the first time. So here's the scenario. You know that $2.2 trillion bailout bill that the Senate sent to the House, and then the House discussed it, and then they, after voting on it, sent it to the White House, and then the president was sat down to sign it, and in signing it, he obviously had to touch the bill to sign it. So that means that Rand Paul and several House members who have a coronavirus, had touched the same bill that the president touched. So now the president is going to test positive for coronavirus, right? So here's my question: is that an assassination attempt? They keep talking. They keep talking about this thing, this coronavirus thing, as a war, but and which makes sense. I mean, no wonder Trump is having a problem with it. He's trying to avoid this one too, or he's dodging this one too. That's it. They keep talking about. I'm going to do the joke again. Yeah, they keep talking about the coronavirus epidemic as a war, but and no wonder Trump's having a problem with it. He's trying to dodge this one too. That's the joke. Now, I don't know if I had coronavirus. I don't know whether I would want a ventilator. If I got a ventilator, if I want a ventilator that was made by General Motors. You know what I mean? I mean, if your life depended on it, would you really and truly want to be hooked up to something that was made by the same people that made the Saturn? You know, I mean, I'd take a Yugo over a Saturn any day. Now the Olympics have been moved to 2021, and and of course, and the athletes thought drug testing was a pain in the ass, but but with this coronavirus, most of the athletes will be hoping they test positive for drugs. Trump signed the bailout bill at the White House and celebrated the event but only with Republicans. Leave it to Donald J. Trump to play politics during a pandemic. Maybe those hats should read "Make America Dead Again." The USS Comfort will arrive in New York, and which will be good. Finally, a cruise ship that makes people better instead of sick. A cruise ship that makes people better instead of sick. You know, That's why it's good to be there. They say that one of the first signs that you have the coronavirus is if you lose your taste. And that's right, actually, because suddenly you start wearing Nehru jackets and brown shoes with dark suits, and you seriously start liking uh, Adam Sandler movies. That's the test that you may have coronavirus. You lose your taste. So here we are on day 64 of this thing. And you know, the first coronavirus joke I wrote, I stole actually from my son, Charlie. And it was, how do you know if you have the coronavirus? How do you know if you have the coronavirus? You wake up one day and there's a small wedge of lime in the corner of your mouth. Coronavirus. Corona. Anyway, Boeing just volunteered one of their big cargo planes to the government for the coronavirus effort. So it seems to me, though, at $2.2 trillion bailout money, most of it going to Boeing, it's got to be the most expensive charter on record. But you know, as I said this before, I love to check out the books on the shelves of all those television reporters now who are reporting from their homes because of the virus. You know, I think, like, for instance, Casey Hunt arranges her books by color. You know, and she calls herself a journalist. You know what I mean? If you look closely to the books in back of Casey, I think she has the entire collection of books for dummies. The whole run. And they're thinking of opening up the Aqueduct Raceway as a hospital, which is great, you know. But unfortunately, the bad news is you get the coronavirus and they take you to the home of the losers. Trump's going down to Virginia today, actually, to see off the USS Comfort, which is going to New York. Now, the Comfort is just like a regular cruise ship line. The Comfort is just like a regular cruise line ship, except the USS Comfort, every stateroom comes with a ventilator and an IV. Now, remember those Catholic dances we used to go to where the nuns would make you dance separated and without touching to leave room for the Holy Ghost, they used to tell me. Leave room for the Holy Ghost. Don't touch when you dance. Maybe they were onto something, you know? I mean, only now it would be leave room for the coronavirus. But these are desperate times, folks. People are using alternatives for toilet paper. And that's the truth. I mean, people are now wiping themselves with T-shirts and towels and washcloths and marriage licenses. And that is day 64, the coronavirus monologue. I'm Andrew Smith.